In early hard mode, there are 3 bows that are eerily similar: the Shadowflame Bow, Marrow, and Ice Bow. At a glance, they do seem very alike after all. They are each obtained as a rare drop from enemies, they each fire a fast, slow arcing bolt at a medium fire rate, and they each fire their own special arrow. There's seemingly not that much to differentiate them. Have you ever wondered though, of these 3 special early hard mode bows, which one's the best? Well, that's what we're doing today. Starting off, the Marrow deals the most damage of the 3, with a whopping 53 damage per shot, totaling around 200 base damage per second, which is bolstered by its boosted base crit chance. Meanwhile, the Ice Bow has the lowest base damage of 39, but fires very rapidly, 4.2 times per second. It has a little less DPS than the Marrow at 196 damage per second, though it will generally be less effective since defense will cut more into its damage. Both the Ice Bow and Marrow are special because their special bone/frost arrows travel at double speed and are less affected by gravity. Both are extremely speedy, but the Marrow's projectile travels slightly faster, 10% faster to be exact. The Shadowflame Bow though is different. Unlike the rest, it has a lower DPS of 167 and doesn't have baked in double velocity arrows, meaning its arrows are much slower by default. It requires a magic quiver or any of its derivations to reach the same velocity as the Marrow, which in this case is basically a requirement. However, in exchange for sacrificing both damage and velocity, it gains both the Shadowflame debuff and the ability to pierce 2 enemies, which the rest of the bows are unable to do. Which one is best then? But there's more to be unlocked, if we look a little closely at their damage values. When calculating bow damage, we also need to factor in arrow damage, which is a flat addition to the bow's base damage. Since this is a flat addition, this will benefit bows with a high fire rate much more. Since these arrows always replace the effect of the arrow fired, only the damage value of the chosen ammunition matters. Instead of a typical arrow, we can maximize our damage by choosing early hard mode's most damage heavy arrows, the Ichor and Curse arrows, dealing 16 and 17 damage respectively. If we add this, we can see the Ice Bow passes the Marrow in damage, 250 damage per second with Curse arrows versus 241 for the Marrow. The Shadowflame Bow also suffers due to its even slower fire rate, lagging even more behind the competition. What about obtaining though? A weapon needn't be the best if the competition costs $1 trillion after all. Unfortunately, there isn't much for the Marrow to claim here either. Being dropped from mimics with just under a third chance, the Ice Bow isn't really that rare. Same with the likes of the Shadowflame Bow. It's a 1 out of 6 drop chance from the Goblin Warlock mini-boss. Compared to these, a 1 out of 200 chance from these Skeleton Archer enemies doesn't seem too great, though I guess it is technically more AFK-able. So, what's my opinion? I think most of us would probably see the Ice Bow as the best option here. It simply dishes out more DPS, and lots of us like higher fire rate weapons. It isn't a runaway victory though with the Marrow. Past around 20 defense, the Marrow will deal more DPS, and many enemies and bosses in hard mode have that much defense, like Skeletron Prime. Meanwhile, there's the Shadowflame Bow. It also puts up a good fight, especially the debuff it applies, but its piercing is a bit meh. If you really need piercing, you're probably better off with the Repeater and Jess's arrows, which has infinite piercing. Piercing 3 targets also doesn't have enough for something like the Destroyer, where the Jess's arrows or Holy Arrows would fare better than this ever could. After all, the Destroyer is immune to Shadowflame. Still, it's decent, I guess. Hello, if you're part of the 80% of my viewers who aren't subscribed, I ask you to subscribe. Here's 2 videos about other early hard mode weapons, the Anchor and the Chick. Either way though, thank you for watching, and good day and goodbye.